Welcome, everyone, to another edition of Late Night on Base. I'm your host, Bill the Bull. Welcome. Excited for this episode. We have the Workie team. Now, I'm telling you about Workie. Workie is the team has kind of been around since when I've been starting my podcast. And, I was in around June. I remember talking to Workie around July, and in the market base at the time, it was kind of like dead, right? It's a ghost town. But it showed me who the true teams are showing up day in and day out, not caring about the price. And that is Worky. And I just love seeing them still grind. And now, as base volume slowly returning back to base, Worky is in prime position to do very, very well. So I'm excited to talk to teams that are just in the trenches worrying about the most important thing, which is building their project. So Worky, without further ado, how you doing today, man?
Very well. Yo, yo, yo. Thank you very much for having us on, Bill.
Pleasure's all mine. So tell me, Worky, I love it. It's basically the meme for the working people, and I love, one of my favorite memes actually of all time is like one of the Wojaks with like a McDonald's shirt, and that's just kind of what I think of when I think of Worky, right? We're all just trying to make it in our lives better lives for ourselves, our family, for our loved ones.
Absolutely.
So let me ask you this, for those maybe coming across your project for literally the first time, if they're watching this on YouTube, maybe they saw one of my Jesse videos that's currently on Coinbase Wallet. Maybe it's on Spotify, and they see Worky. If you don't mind, why don't you tell them who is Worky?
Yeah, absolutely. My pleasure. So Worky is a meme coin project on Base. We are a CTO, which means we no longer have the dev with us. Again, a ton of projects right now seem to all be CTOs. I'm not sure what's going on in the dev's mind, but it is what it is. From a narrative perspective, like you mentioned, Bill, yeah, Worky is essentially what everyone else is, right? So it's like a representation of ourselves on chain, IRL, whether you're blue collar, white collar, doesn't really matter. We all got 9 to 5s. And so that's the narrative for Worky.
Yeah, and it's a narrative I think that people can resonate with, right? And I think for me, when I'm looking at a meme project, and the whole point of Base is to bring in 1 billion users on chain. And there's a lot of options out there, a lot of great teams, a lot of great projects. But the ones that are going to stand out are the ones that people can resonate with. And I think Worky's prime to be that because people can relate to what you're saying. Being part of the 9 to 5, the average person coming into crypto, not an insider, not a KOL, just someone average. And I think you guys are capturing that. So kudos to you for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And for me as well, just a bit of a backstory. I was just a normal investor in Worky. And for me, that narrative is what resonated with me. And ultimately what led to me deciding to kind of just put my foot down and run Worky as the CTO. It happened and everything went to shit, basically.
Yeah, so tell me about that. I actually didn't realize you guys were a CTO, and CTO is kind of if done properly, and I've told other projects out there, if done properly, CTO is very bullish. And the reason why I think it's very bullish is because two things. Number one, you get rid of bad actors, right? The initial dev who's probably just in it for the money, and you replace them
Correct.
for supporters who are all contributing to make the project succeed, which gives them a sense of, identity. There's a saying basically, you appreciate things that you have to work harder for. And I think
Absolutely.
CTOs, yeah, and CTOs really resonate. So talk to me about the story of the CTO. When did that came about? And,
Mhm.
first of all, just tell us like when did you launch and when did the CTO come about?
Absolutely. Yeah. So Worky launched June 16th. So just over 3 months old. I was an early investor, I would say probably second week. And, as all DJs do, we see the green candles, we ape in, and we're all in the TG hyped up. And yeah, that was for me, that was kind of it. I resonated with the artwork that was being put out back then. But more importantly, the narrative, right? I've been in my career for 10 years. I'm a full-time working 9 to 5, even though I do the normal degen stuff, all of the chains, whether that's Solana, whether that's Base. But that's kind of how it started. And like any project, you kind of go in the first day, second day, then you kind of just slowly stop being active in the TG, which is kind of what happened to me. And like with all projects and my experiences, when there's green candles, there's like 1,000 people talking. When there's red candles, there's 1,000 people talking. And when the price is going sideways, it's like a ghost town, right? There's only 5 people. So, normal day, I was just, I think I was on my way back from work, and, TG was popping off. So I had a look, and that was basically when the CTO was happening. Basically, the dev said, I'm burnt out, I'm tired of this. Yeah, I'm just going to throw in the towel. And,
Sure.
and that's how it happened. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's 'cause burnout's real, right? I know everyone wants to see a project succeed, but sometimes it just burns out, especially if it falls on one person. And that's why I like CTOs because again, it's not just one person in charge. It's a whole community. So if one person's not like for instance, if you're not having a good day, you need some time to just kind of like do
Touch
you,
grass.
touch grass exactly. Then there's other people in the community that can, I guess, pick up the load,
Pull
right?
weight. Yeah. Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely.
And that's good. And
Absolutely.
that keeps it moving in the right directions. Okay, so now you launched in June, you said. Now you're
Correct.
CTO in July.
So yeah, the CTO's kind of got a layered story, right?
Okay.
Because I didn't get the keys to the CTO. So like I said, I was on my way back from work. TG was popping off,
Mhm.
and at that point, I wasn't active, right? I aped in, loved the green candles, loved the art, loved the narrative, but life got busy, and so a different active member of the community actually got the keys to the X account, to the TG, basically the whole assets, right? And that was cool. I was like, okay, cool. Obviously, with any CTO, you get panic sellers. You see the chart dip and all of that, but it was all right. So he then took that, took Worky, and ran with it for about 5 to 7 days, I'd say. And
Okay.
so from June 16th towards the end of June, that was basically when the CTO happened. Towards the end of June, he ran with it for another week. And just like the dev, he also came back to the community and said, I've got too much stuff going on IRL with my job and all of that stuff. I don't think I can run Worky. So yeah, that obviously kicked off another hornet's nest, and that was the second CTO. So technically, he basically said, "Okay, I'm gone." And
Yeah.
at that point, that was when I kind of just like, "Oh no, I'm not going to let this die. I'm too invested, both emotionally and financially." And that's when we kind of rallied together, and the final CTO, so as to stay happened.
Well, I think it's for any project out there that's listening, if they're are interested in building a space or something of that nature, I think you guys are a good example of how to do a project properly. I really feel that and I'm impressed with you for a couple reasons, and I kind of alluded to it in the intro. So number one, you guys didn't give up. The community banded together after the CTO was formed, after the two of them basically made you guys stronger. And then that lull period, I think we first started talking maybe in July, and base at that time was extremely dead. Honestly, it was just there's no volume. Everyone left. It was
Couldn't
like
have been a
cricket,
more worse time. Couldn't have been a
right?
more worse time for a
It,
CTO.
no,
Absolutely.
exactly. It couldn't. But that shows a lot about your guys' character because 99.9% of projects would have literally just said, all right, we're done, or just done
That's
nothing.
correct.
But you guys did not quit. You guys didn't throw in the towel. Not only did you not throw in the towel, you guys are extremely active in a lot of the voice chats. I saw you guys on spaces all the time.
Yeah.
I was hosting a lot more spaces back then, and you guys were always down. You guys were always about that, and you guys said, "You know what? We'll worry about price later. Let's just build a community. Things will come." And not only as things come, I want to share my screen. I want to show you guys. If you're watching this on YouTube, look at their chart. I think the chart is beautiful. Let's see. And I don't normally show people their chart. And again, anything I say, guys, is not financial advice, but I just want to kind of just show you guys what I think is bullish and what I like and I'm just very proud of you guys. So this is the Workie chart. Am I correct? You're at 438K market cap. Yes.
That is correct. Yep.
All right. So this is the chart. This is absolutely a gorgeous chart. And again, nothing I'm saying is financial advice. You guys do whatever the hell you want. I don't care. But I want to just show that this is what a team should all aim to do and what Worky's done. Because in this period in June, July, right here in July, it's at its low. It's probably what 700K market cap or something small.
So I
No,
think we went down all the way to 70K
yeah,
or
70K. I
80K.
meant. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So That's why 99% of projects would have said, screw this, I'm out. And then what would have happened? Boom, candle down, dead.
That's it.
But Worky didn't do that. Worky grinded, did what's most important, which is not worry about the price, worked on the community. And now look at this. This is absolutely a gorgeous chart. And one thing people don't know about me is I love to chart altcoins. I just love it. And so this is how you're supposed to do it. Don't worry about the price at a certain time. Worry about the project, worry about your community because community is the only thing that matters. And when the volume comes back, guess what happens? People are going to look at charts like Worky and man, to go back to all-time high to 7x, which would be like 300 or 3 million, I
Yeah.
can see that happening easily. And that's because it's a testament to what you guys are doing. So I just wanted to give you my flowers in a not, in a normal way.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that. It's not been an easy road. And like you said, for me personally, it was to tune out the noise and forget about the price action. I literally had to do that and force myself to do that to rebuild the community. And again, not many projects have gone through multiple CTOs and people losing faith. The OGs that would have aped in early, just basically leaving, all the whales leaving. So it was brutal, but I truly believed in Worky, and the people that banded around myself truly also believed in Worky, and here we are. Over 60 days, we grinded July, grinded August, and almost at the end of September, and we're starting to see some movement.
So at the moment right now, talk to us about, what are the vibes in the community, the people that are now with you guys? What's it like in the Worky Telegram?
It's popping off. That's it's popping off since early September. And like I said, my experience is when stuff is right, everyone's chatting, everyone's having a good time, everyone's vibing, no FUDs. Everyone's just like, let's send this, 100 mil, 1 billion market cap, and that's what we've managed to achieve. And throughout the grind, the July and the August, we didn't see that. It was absolute ghost town, but we stuck to our guns and we made sure that we positioned ourselves so that when the volume starts to trickle down, people will look back and see that we were there and we didn't vanish, and we're going to send this and we're here for the long term. I think for us, the key thing is longevity. We want to be here 2025 and beyond. So that's the key. That's kind of the goal. That's kind of our North Star that we set ourselves from the get go.
Amazing. So now that things are looking better, you guys have the team in place. And by the way, how many people make up the core team at the moment now?
So essentially, I took over Worky, but from my perspective, what makes or breaks a coin is a band of whales or the early investors, right, or the people who can move the chart. So we've got all the whales, all the Worky whales, and myself, and so we kind of have this council where we decide what we do next, what our next move is. So we're looking about a dozen people fully invested in Worky, diamond hand in Worky, and want to see Worky run up to the millions.
I love it. And what do you guys, I guess, right now? And I do want to shift the attention towards the end, towards you as a person, because I think it's
Yeah.
important to always get to know whoever is, leading a project or one of the most core contributors and get to know them on a deeper level because that builds trust and authenticity. But let me ask you this for anyone looking into getting to Worky, but they might want to know any future plans you have any up. Do you have any, maybe some news, some alpha? Like, what do you guys have planned in the near term for Worky?
Not sure about alphas, but yeah, we've got a ton in our roadmap, and we're slowly kind of just checking the boxes. Initially, back in July, we had about 80 items, and then slowly over the last 2 months, we've managed to strike through a bunch of those. One of the biggest things that we launched in the last few weeks is the Workie Treasury. And the Workie Treasury is basically an initiative that we created to allow us to kind of further support that concept of longevity. So it's a treasury, as with any treasury. We've got a couple of NFTs that we're buying up to put in the treasury, and so it's kind of two pronged. So it supports us as a project long term, but more importantly, also allows us to support the base projects, right? So the entities that we acquire are from other base projects. and we're holding them for the long term. It's something that builds credibility, both in terms of whether you're an investor or you're thinking about investing, and we think it will take us to the promised land.
Excellent. So let's turn the attention to you, Worky, the person behind the avatar. Talk to us about you. What's your crypto journey been like? Are you new to the space? Have you been in here for a while? Talk to us.
Let's see, it's been a roller coaster. So the last time I was in crypto was 2017, and this was the days of the Dino coins,
Oh,
Cardano,
I remember.
Cardano, LTC. So
Yeah.
XRP, and we all thought XRP was going to go to $1 back in 2018. But here we are, 2024. So that's basically where my crypto journey started. I wasn't fortunate enough to buy BTC at $10, sadly. Buy a bunch of bought a bunch of Cardano and XRP, and sadly I held through the top, didn't sell the top. I lost it all,
Mhm.
basically. Rode it up, rode it down. And so, yeah, since that initial cycle, I basically stayed away from crypto. So I wasn't in here in 2021 or anything.
Okay.
But yeah, 2024, decided to take another leap of faith, and see where it goes.
So yeah, the 20 cycle team was wild. I was that was my first like real cycle, and same thing, man. I That was the season of like not only dinosaur coins, but that was also the season of Chinese meta coins. So
Yes,
there's that competition between the USA and like China, and so there would be like,
absolutely. I remember that.
oh yeah, supply chain I thought was the best thing ever. So I was like in like random coins called like Walton chain and like V chain. Like I thought it was just a fun time. It was different. There was no Uniswap, there was no decentralized
Nothing.
exchanges, nothing. It was so different. There was no memes actually either.
Yeah, there was. I remember trading all my. I did all my trading on Kraken.
Ah,
That's
yes, yes. Yeah, I good times. Wrote it up, wrote it right back down. So anyways, but
yes,
it's interesting to know that you weren't around the 2021 cycle. So now you're 2024. I
correct.
guess then let me ask you, Base is pretty new. Obviously, you chose to be initially invested in a project on Base and now running Base. What are your thoughts on the Base ecosystem?
I think base is great. And just give you just a background around my entry into the cycle. I came from Solana. And
Oh,
so I came, so basically January, February, I was almost in the bomb pre-sale. I aped in a lot on bomb the first few hours that I came up. But then towards the end of March, I started looking obviously to what can I move to, what can I rotate into,
sure.
and I obviously stumbled across base, and I thought it was just it was a quality that I didn't see in Solana in the OG coins, and the OG coins on base. So it was like, is this a project? Is this a meme? Or this looks fully formed, right? From the artwork to the positioning and everything, right? And then I had no idea at that point that Base was actually created by Coinbase. So obviously started to do my own research. It's like, oh, cool, it's a new chain and stuff. And when I stepped in, it was kind of a breath of fresh air. It wasn't as chaotic as Solana was. And personally, I'm someone that values quality over quantity, even IRL, right? So I'd rather have two quality items than 100 items that are kind of mediocre. So that's what drew me to Base. But the more I got into project, the more I participate in the communities. I see a sense of just partnerships, right? And this is something that you never see on any other chain, with projects supporting other projects, coming on spaces, hosting spaces with 20 projects, 10 projects. That
Wow.
never happens, absolutely never happens on any other chain. And obviously, a good thing about something that you always get from base is that you've got the full support of the heads, right? So you've got Jesse, you basically have the support that you need. If you're on chain and you're on base and you're building something, whether you're content creating, whether you're running a meme coin project, whether you're doing hackathons, you kind of rest easy knowing that when you need support, you will get it from the top people on base. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot to unpack there, and I agree with everything you're saying. Like, I'm a DJ by heart. Like, I know all these chains, Solana, Pulse Chain. I used to come from the Pulse Chain world, actually, 2023. I actually thought 20. I always knew after the 2021 cycle there has to be a new layer that, when a bull run comes, that no one's going to want to pay like $100, $200 gas fees, because that's what it
Yeah,
was on ETH, because then it's just a rich person's playground, which is
correct.
why BSC like did so well in 2021. So my thesis that last year was that's going to be Pulse Chain, and it's not. I like Pulse Chain, but I'm also a realist, and it feels to me that base is actually that layer two that people are going to want to be a part. And so I was in Solana. Any chain that there's liquidity or volume, I've been in it. Tron, everything else. Like, and that's like the Degen thing that like
Yeah.
I'm in the trenches, and so knowing that you came from Solana actually makes me very even more bullish on Working. And the reason why I'm bullish on that, for those that are wondering, is because you understand degen culture. The fact that you said you came from Solana and that shows me two things. You are equipped to handle a project, because in this space, it's not about utility. Like, I'm just telling you right now, anyone listening, this is not about utility. Utility is actually bearish. What's important is community culture. And in order to tap into the community culture, you need to understand degen culture, because those are the ones who are going to be coming to your meme project. And so Solana has done that very well. But it's a chaotic like play field over there, and it's just like Pump Fund has just created thousands of launches a day. So when you came to base, and I equate with that, you realize the quality is there, and the quality is just unheard of. And you don't have, like on Solana, like there's no top leadership. It's just a DJ casino. But on base, as you were saying, you have the top from like Jesse onwards, that if you build something in quality, they're going to help you, and that's rare and unique.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and again, like you mentioned, being on or coming from Solana, Solana just builds you different, right? It's PvP. It basically toughens you up to be able to look at red candles, ape red candles, not panic sell. You've it's basically like, yeah, you've been through everything. And so coming to base, you're like, oh, this is all sunshine. This is just a field of roses. I like this.
Yeah,
And
it's not
so
PvP, it's actually, yeah, and it's not even PvP, it's more like builder helps builder, and I quote that from,
exactly, exactly,
yeah, OX
exactly.
Builder from, another project quoted that one. Basically, it's builder versus builder helps builder, and that's the community feel that is unlike any other chain, and that's why I think it's gonna be a massive success. So, Worky, before we end things, any last words that you have for the Worky community, or maybe anyone on the fence looking to enter Worky?
I mean, for any degens looking into investing in meme coins, and like you rightly said, this is a meme coin super cycle. There's no altcoins or utility coins. Just do your research. Look for projects that have grinded through absolutely zero volume on base. Projects that have managed to position themselves well with base leadership as well, which I believe, again, saying obviously I'm biased, but that's something that we've worked super hard to accomplish and rebuild from the ground up the foundation, and credibility and trust, from the Worky community. So all the Worky community now, they understand what we're here for. They see how we're different from other projects. They believe in what we're doing. They see us here for the long term. And yeah, everyone's just gonna diamond hand Worky, and send it.
Love it. Worky, thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely. Pleasure.
Everyone, if you're watching this on Spotify, head over to YouTube. On the YouTube page, we're going to make sure that you have the information so you can find Worky. We'll put their Telegram, or we'll put their X and also their Telegram. Also, you'll find Late Night on Bases information. If you haven't done so already, please just like and subscribe. It's free, and it helps us produce banger content like this on the regular. Thank you guys, and until next time.